India is one of the most exciting auto market in the world, and the HMI has been successful for more than 26 years, and currently is the second largest passenger vehicle OEM in India. We believe it is the right time for us to take a step forward to further Indianize our operation, and we become a home brand, more the trusted brand in India. IPO will ensure that the HMI is even more dedicated to the success in India, and we are continue to pursuing the global standard and practices in terms of governance. Additionally, IPO will provide opportunity for local and global investors to take part in our growth story.
Mm-hmm. HM Group, the Hyundai Motor Group, has a large presence in India with respect to supply chain, your subsidiaries, dealership, supplying to dealership and others. What would be the role of HM Group once you list in India?
So we have a very strong parentage. I think that has been a huge strength of Hyundai, because we have access to all kinds of technologies. If you see today, because R&D capabilities of Hyundai Motor Group are well known, so whether it is petrol, diesel, CNG, hybrids, strong hybrids, plug-in hybrids, EV, even hydrogen. I think that gives us a huge technology agnosticity even going forward. In terms of manufacturing or in terms of quality management as well, it's a huge advantage. Of course, the Hyundai brand itself is a huge advantage, the supply chain. So I think one thing which differentiates Hyundai from some of the peers is, one, access to the export markets, because we are exporting to 80+ countries, because HMG Group is present in 190+ countries globally. So I think this is a huge advantage, and going forward as well, we believe the access to these technologies will help us to really introduce new and new features and new models to the Indian market, and always help us in staying ahead of the curve.
Mr. Kim, you've been able to increase the localized content to nearly 81% now. What is the game plan? How do you want to take it to completely local, made in India, including technologies that can be made and developed in India?
In terms of localization, the HMI has around 200 tier 1 suppliers with a good combination of the local and the global supplier. Currently, our localization rate is around 80%. HMI has strongly focused on the full localization as possible as we can. Localization is very crucial for us for cost competitiveness and securing the supply chain from some geopolitical disruptions.
Mr. Garg, I'm looking at your valuation, and because you're coming to the IPO, so I have to look at peer valuations as well. You're fairly priced as compared to your nearest competitor, which is Maruti. My question is that, this market is a very profit-driven market. The IPO market, investors are very savvy on profits. Do you think you have left enough on the table for them?
So if you see, we have always believed in quality of growth and really looking at not only the volumes, but also capacity utilization, also EBITDA margins. If you see, even financial year 24, on a turnover of close to 70,000 crores, we have an EBITDA margin of 13% plus, which is very good. And it has been helped by premiumization, our strong SUV mix, which is now almost 68%, our huge cost optimization efforts. Going forward, of course, new plant capacity is coming up in Pune, which will add a further 170,000 in phase 1 and 80,000 in phase 2. So I think our direction is very clear that we want to really grow sustainably and grow profitably, and and that should really help us, and everybody else also, because we have always believed in shareholder value right from the time we have set foot in India, and we believe these kind of strategies will hold us in good stead in the long run as well.
You spoke about EBITDA. Your EBITDA has been growing from FY24, and when I saw the Q1, it's even higher in Q on 13.6%. Do you see enough headroom for your EBITDA to grow, and what will be the levers for that?
Look, it's always very difficult to give a forward guidance, but what I can say is as long as the strategy and the direction is right, I think all other things take care of themselves. So like I said, we will continue to see more opportunities, of course, whether it is the more SUVization, more premiumization, more cost optimization, more localization, of course the new capacities coming in, looking for opportunities in exports as well. So I think all these directions should help us to stay healthy, and that is what I can say at this moment.
Mr. Kim, we spoke about exports to more than 80 countries. What kind of opportunity that it throws up for you, especially because you've been exporting for a long time and one of the largest exporters of passenger cars from the country? What kind of opportunities are there for you in that?
Our parent company, HMC, has a strong overseas sales network across the more than 190 countries. We are positioning HMI as a production hub for emerging markets like the Middle East and Africa, South Asia, and Central and South America. Our product line is very suitable for emerging market. We are manufacturing and exporting more than 80 countries. So also we have a very good balance mix of the domestic and export, which is not only give us the profit, but also it gives us some natural hedge against some market fluctuation.
The passenger car market has now tilted to SUVs actually. Means you don't see sedans selling enough in this market. How do you see the SUV market evolving? And I'm asking in context that you already have a group company, Kia, which is also as successful in India, which is there in SUVs. So how do you manage that competition within the group actually?
So if you see, look, one reason for success of HMI in India has been our ability to spot the trends. When we launched the Creta in 2015, the SUV contribution was only 13%.
True.
Who would have thought that a car like Creta can sell 15,000 vehicles a month? But we were able to do it. Today, if you see our SUV contribution, in fact, January to September period has already reached 68%,
right.
much higher than the industry average of 52%. In fact, in September, it reached 70%. For the month of September. So you can see that there is still some upside. We launched the Exter last year, which really had a very good response. We had 6 airbags as standard, which has really helped us to really touch the heart and the mind of the customers. So we believe that there is still upside to it. At the same time, we don't want to be only a 100% SUV player. We are very strong in the sedan space as well. We have the Aura and the Venue. We have in the hatch segment, we have the Nios, the i20. So we are a complete player with different kind of powertrain as well. In a country as big as India, one solution will not work. So at the entry level, we are offering the customer petrol and CNG. And you can see the penetration in models like Aura of CNG has reached 85%. In the SUV segment, we offer the customers petrol and diesel. In the Verna segment, we offer the customers petrol and turbo. And of course, we have an Ioniq 5 as an EV. So I think this kind of different kind of powertrains to different kind of geographies, because Indian geographies also behave very differently. Like somewhere in UP, CNG is very, very popular. Whereas in Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Punjab, diesel is very popular. In Delhi, petrol is very popular. So different powertrains, different segments help us to really, really grow. SUV segment, I think, like I said, we have always been very, very bullish on the SUV segment, and going forward also we'll see what kind of opportunities exist. Of course, competition is always there, Indian markets has always had competition, but we believe as long as we are able to identify trends, as long as we are able to give new features, new technology, I think we can always get the love and affection of the customers.
And that's reflecting in the demand for your vehicles. But what I saw in the RHP is that your capacity utilizations are almost peaking across Chennai 1 and Chennai 2. How do you plan to expand that? You said Talegaon is going to come in, but that's going to come in by FY26. So how do you plan to increase your capacity and cater to that demand?
That's a very important question. And if you see, currently we have a capacity of about 824,000. The Talegaon phase 1 of 170,000 will come in H2 of calendar 25. So you can very clearly see we are almost there, and that will really give us the necessary impetus to reach a capacity of 994. And then in 28, we are further adding the capacity by 80,000. So we'll almost be 1.07 million by 28, which is almost 30% addition in capacity. So I think we are well placed. And then, of course, we will see, every year we do an evaluation that, what is required to be done, and that we will do in the future as well.
Mr. Kim, the revenue mix, 23% is coming from exports, if I'm not wrong. Will that remain going forward, or you expect that exports to play a significant role going forward?
Currently, we are 20% for export, 80% for domestic, but it depends on our overseas countries' economic situation. But we are maintaining and improving. We are increasing both domestic and export volumes.
And do you see the demand for the vehicles? Like in India, we have a very dynamic situation of passenger car growth. How do you see the passenger car growth in various countries and emerging countries where you supply, whether it's Middle East or in Europe or Latin America?
Look, if you see the Indian market, the CAGR, 5-year and 10-year CAGR is hovering around 5%. Of course, sometimes the growth happens 22% like last year, or last year also more than 8%. So those kind of ups and downs will happen, but India is definitely going stronger. If you see the Middle East, the economies, the preferences are similar, and that is what helps us. Of course, some kind of geopolitical situations will keep on changing. But like MD mentioned, the important thing is that this kind of a healthy mix gives us those levers to really, change our strategy based on the demand and based on the macroeconomic and geopolitical indicators in those countries.
I have two more questions. One would be on your dividend policy, because we just saw in Q1 you paid more than 10,000 crores in dividend to the parent. What kind of dividend policy can the investors expect from the company?
So if you see right from the time, we have always been, paying dividend, because so we have been a very good, healthy practices. Going forward, of course, depending on the capex, the cash flow, the profitability, once the financial year 25 is complete, we will be announcing the dividend policy, and of course we'll keep in mind the industry best practices and to see so that the investors get a decent return for their money.
What is the kind of capex that you're looking at over the next 2 to 3 years?
So if you see the capex, one is of course for the Talegaon plant, where we have committed a capex of 6,000 crores. In Tamil Nadu, we have committed a capex of 26,000 crores for the next 8 to 10 years. So total of about 32,000 crore capex over the next 8 to 10 years.
And all will be from internal accruals?
Yeah, we believe that yes, we are generating enough capital and enough profits to take care of the capex concerns, going forward.
The big talk is about electric vehicles. What is your electric vehicle policy? Because you have a couple of cars in that segment, and I think one of the first to get electric vehicle as well, if I'm not wrong. How do you plan to evolve the EV ecosystem for your company?
Yes, India is the early stage of the electrification. We see the EV is expected to grow strongly by 2030, led by government strong initiative and many OEMs EV focus. The HMI has strong access to the HMGs, EV and battery technologies. So we are developing an EV ecosystem in India. We are planning to launch 4 EV models across the mass and the premium segment, including our Creta EV in the Q4 this financial year. And also we are localized the EV supply chain, like the battery pack, drivetrain, and the battery cell, etc. Also, we are investing EV charging infrastructure as well.
So, how much of investment will go into EV as a whole?
So specifically it is difficult,
but like I said, with the Tamil
Nadu government, we have made a commitment of MOU of 26,000 crores. So it includes the investment in the EV ecosystem as well.
You also have a PLI, if I'm not wrong, for EV?
So so we'll strive to see, that we meet the PLI going forward. We'll strive, all the efforts will be there to try and meet the PLI.
So final question, Mr. King spoke about Creta EV coming in Q4. Which are the other models that we expect from Hyundai in FY25?
Look, this year has been an exciting year, calendar 24. We started with Creta facelift, which has received a great response, the Creta N-Line as well. Then last month we launched the Alcazar, again some very, very good response from the customers. So we have always excited the market. We have already announced in the DRHP about Creta EV and 3 more EVs in the mass and the mass premium segment going forward. So you'll continue continue to hear from us. It would not be prudent to really disclose all the future models, because some level of excitement should always remain in the market.
Let me quiz you a little more. When you say mass, is it going to be entry level for EV?
So I would say that you will see a very assertive approach from Hyundai in the EV space, backed by a very strong localization and the entire ecosystem.